Hey, this is a layer slider tutorial. I'll try to make it brief and to the point. I'm going to look at a three slide presentation and then slowly go over, quickly go over. So let's take a look at how it looks first. Alright, just for the sake of being complete, I'm going to show you the global settings, and if you want to follow along, this is what they look like. Alright, now since someone asked, if you want to link the slide 1 to slide 3, let's say you want to link it from here, try it for free, click on it, here's the button, and you go to the link. I already did it here, but pretty much this is all that you need to put, number 3, and make sure it's self, unless you want another browser page to open. In this case we don't, so if we look back here and click on the button, immediately um, the third slide loads up, skipping a second. So that's the way you link in between different slides. And I'll just briefly show the third one, the one with the video. Now it's pretty simple. This, of course, is Photoshop. You got to get a transparent image, make it all nice. This is just here for the 3D effect kind of. Again, this is all Photoshop. Got to cut it out all nice. This here is text, another layer. That's one thing I don't like about this thing. So, okay, here we go. H1, pretty self-explanatory, but the more interesting thing is the video. The three layers here are just three images. In fact, if we remove the video, you can see that they're just images added regular way as one would normally add them right here, image, and this is the URL. You put it in there, and there you go. You just have to position it, and this is the hard part, since everything has to be precise. For example, I just moved this now, so when the video is going to come back, you see it's not fitting exactly. So I have to rearrange everything and make sure it's pixel perfect. And sometimes it's not going to let you do that. So this is just trial and error and fighting it. See, now it let me in. It's just a matter of clicking here, starting this up, and all of a sudden let me slide it down a bit. And the video itself, this is how it's linked through an iframe. This again has to be measured beforehand to make sure that it fits the provided space. And pay attention here. I'm allowing the visitor, if they want to see this in full width, giving them that visibility by adding this code here for WebKit and for Mozilla and whatnot, allow full screen. And obviously this is the link directly from Vimeo, or if you want to use YouTube, pretty much be in the same format. If you go to YouTube and right click on any video, you would see an option to get the embed code, and this is what you would need. put here. And everything else is just a matter of timing, of going in the options and seeing the duration of the animation and playing around with the numbers. That's the only thing I could suggest. Take something and change these numbers 1,000 times until you get it exactly how you want it to look. And after about the 20th time, you see that there's a pattern to it, exactly what this delay means. And I mean, you could read the instructions here, but they're kind of iffy. It's much easier to put two small objects like this woman here in this video and just see how they come out on the screen and change 1,000, see what happens then. So when we strip this down, it pretty much is going to be just the mountains, and the rest of it is images. And if you don't have Photoshop, you will not be able to do something like this, or some kind of similar high-end graphics program, because you're not going to be able to perfectly cut out a woman or whatever it is you want to cut out. So, and maybe when you find her, she's not going to be wearing this yellow hat. You have to find that somewhere else and visually stick it on her head and whatnot. And unless, of course, the client provides this for you, which is nice, but most of the time that's not the case. And the other slides are a lot simpler. This is plain old text, and you could see like the buy now. The button itself is CSS, and whatever, somewhere out here. And same thing with everything else. It's just added to the CSS file for the page. And the only thing you have to remember here is on this entire row between H6 and paragraph and image, you can only have one thing. So if you add an image, you can't add H2. So if you add a span, you can't add H1, because obviously if you do, it really won't matter. You might as well put them all in the same place. These divisions are only here pretty much for new users, since you can, in the same box add an image and a video and a paragraph and a span and whatnot. So this could be basically one box. They just didn't want to confuse people about it. And the hardest thing is this, and the only thing I could suggest is to leave this as is and play with these numbers, because they're the key here. The duration and the delay and again the duration and the delay. And basically, they also have to, with the delay here, or primarily the delay of the slide itself, because you have to figure out, you have to understand two things are happening here simultaneously. The main counter is for the background, so to speak, for the entire slide, and all these things are happening, all the layers are happening, but they have to also fall in line with the total amount of milliseconds that the slide is there. And if you overrun it, or if you underrun it, you can get a bunch of weird results, like the third slide will somehow pop in the middle of the second slide. And some of those could be pretty cool. It depends. Again, it's more or less trial and error. That's the only thing I could suggest for the new people. And don't try to get overwhelmed by all this, because these things are, I don't want to jump anywhere, but there's a website that perfectly shows what easing is. It's just the timing of how fast and easy something comes out. And well, that's it. All right, thanks.